Hey, teeth lover. Happy New Year to you. And I'm super excited today to be recording this episode for a few reasons. But I first want to say I hope that you were able to have some well deserved time off with your friends and family and just enjoy the holiday season. Okay, so with that said, I'm excited. Well, because I got this new ergonomic stool. It was shared by Stephanie Bott, and it's an active seat by Vari, Vari. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's so cool and I love it. And so I'm speaking to you from my new seat now. And I'm just really pumped for 2024 because I am just taking my services and my program offerings for hygienists to that next level. And I'm super pumped. But without rambling on too much more about what's to come in 2024, I want to talk about how you're going to live pain-free in 2024. Now, there's one thing you're going to need to focus on in order to have a pain-free 2024. So that's what I'm going to be talking about with you today. So stay tuned because I'm going to dive in right now. Hey there! Welcome to the Lift for Longevity podcast, where our goal is to build our strongest, healthiest body. We all deserve to feel our best, but since we only get one body, we have to make sure to protect it by moving safely and with purpose to prevent pain, injury, and surgery. I'm your host, Brianne, and I'm a fit pro turned business owner and also a girl mom. I'm obsessed with educating and empowering dental pros on how to take care of their body by training efficiently and building the right muscles to prolong their career. I know you're tired of spending time working out but still dealing with annoying aches and pains, getting rid of your pain temporarily only to have it come right back just a few hours later, or feeling like you never have any energy. You wish there was a long-term solution to get rid of your pain for good. Well, I'm here to give you real-life, actionable steps that you can take today to get rid of your pain, say goodbye to quick fixes, and have energy to live a life that you love. So if you're ready to get stronger, enjoy your life outside the operatory, and have longevity in your career, grab yourself a high-protein snack and let's get to it. So I'm so excited to share with you today all about kind of what my expertise lies in. And if you follow me at all on Instagram, or if you've seen any of my testimonials on my website, you'll see that I have clients who are literally getting out of pain. I've had multiple clients pick up second jobs temping because they feel so good. I've had clients tell me like their life has changed, mind-blowing results, right? And there's a reason why this is, right? I'm not the world's greatest trainer, right? There's trainers out there that are, 100 times better than me. But anyways, the reason that my clients get such good results is because I work with corrective exercise. So in the dental world, I like to compare myself to a myofunctional therapist. You know how a myofunctional therapist, it's not a regular RDH. They have additional credentials, qualifications, expertise, skills, whatever you want to use, in addition to their hygiene, right? So I was a personal trainer, 12, 13 years ago, and I've gotten oodles. I don't know why I just said oodles, but I have a great amount of additional certifications, CEs, right? Every 2 years, trainers have to up their education as well. But I've also just worked with probably over at least thousands of clients real time with this method. So anyways, basically like a myofunctional therapist, right? They're going to work with say dysfunctional breathing and assess you and give you, custom tailored exercises, the ones that you're going to need to fix, whatever's going on in your ear, nose, throat, I don't know. But what I do is very similar. So when a client starts working with me, I do the same thing. I assess their movement patterns, right? So corrective exercise, we're identifying any faulty movement patterns, dysfunctions, imbalances, right? We have to see, how the body's moving, like the biomechanics, what's not working, what's overactive, what's underactive, right? There's so many things going on, because your body's the system, right? So from your feet, from the ground up, all the way to, your cervical spine, your head, like everything works together. And when one thing's off, it throws everything off. So while every single person in the world, I'm not saying that lightly, will have one imbalance. Nobody's perfectly symmetrical. We're human, right? But, hygienists just have so many muscle imbalances. And so we have to fix this through corrective exercise. This is how you're going to get rid of pain. This is how you're going to build those underactive muscles and get stronger the right way, right? You're going to have improved mobility, flexibility, stability, endurance, like everything that you're looking to achieve with your physique, even toning up, right? You're going to achieve all of this with corrective exercise. So what the heck is corrective exercise? I had a client once, Robin, she's like, like, I Google it online, which I love because of course hygienists like to learn and I like to educate. So I think we're a good fit. But the unfortunate thing is like when you go Google corrective exercise, it'll show you probably like, a door chest stretch. It's all stretches is what she was telling me. And I'm like, well, right. Like this is, it's an educational, it's a different method or modality under the fitness umbrella, right? And, so unfortunately you can't just go figuring things out on your own. This is why I'm talking to you about, this and how I try and educate on what's overactive typically and what's underactive, although everybody's individual. So we definitely need to get that assessment. But when you're working with corrective exercise, so basically it's a 4-step process, right? Most people, they just do 5 minutes of cardio and then they go do their workout, whether it's a class, whatever. Or maybe you work with a trainer and they give you like a brief workout warm up. The warm up's going to be longer than you're probably used to, but we're going to add corrective exercises in both the warm up as well as the workout itself. So basically you can't just go right and work out. And I'll give you an example. Like most hygienists, like you have very tight pecs, right? And you have very limited shoulder range of motion. Like you can't extend your shoulder all the way above your head straight up. Maybe you can on one side, maybe not on the other. It doesn't matter. But for my example, what we need to do first is we need to reduce tension. This is the first step in those overactive muscles, right? So like our pec, this is done through SMR, self-myofascial release, right? Or for example, the upper traps. That's a hard one to foam roll, but I showed my client today, she has like a tennis ball or lacrosse ball that you can put on your trap and push into the wall to kind of reduce tension there, right? So, or manual therapy. There's things we can do, right? So that's like, say, going and getting a massage. Okay, great. But then we need to have 3 more pieces to the puzzle still. Like you can't just go foam roll and work out. You have to then go to step 2, which is going to be to lengthen those overactive muscles. Because if you've listened to me talk before, the overactive muscles are really short and tight, right? They're not at optimal length. So then we're going to need, after we self-myofascial release on that pec, then we're going to lengthen it by static stretching, right? So that it's at more of that optimal length. Then what we do, we're going to go and activate the weak muscles, say your mid and your lower traps on the posterior side, for example, right? We basically, I say wake them up, right? That's the term I use. So that's the 3rd step. And then the last step, you're actually going to go ahead and integrate multi-joint exercises. What I like to say is like when your muscles play nicely together. For example, lower body, the quads are always overactive, right? And the hips are pretty weak, the glutes are weak, the hamstrings are weak. And when you're squatting, like your quads are always dominating. And so basically, when you follow this corrective exercise protocol, this 4-step method of the inhibit the tension, step 1, lengthen the overactive muscles, step 2, activate the underactive muscles, step 3, and then integrate the multi-joint movements for more like that total body coordination. So your muscles are working together synergistically. So basically then, once you go through this process, your hamstrings and glutes will be awakened and they'll be able to work in conjunction, right? Synergistically with the quads. So the quads aren't doing all the work. So that's an example for you, but it's hard for me to give you, I could give you a million examples, but for you specifically, like without seeing you, I have people all the time ask me like, what should I do for this? And I'm like, I don't know. It's literally like a patient asking you for oral health advice when you've never looked in their mouth. Like, I'm not a magician. I have to see the way your body moves. A lot of times I see people squatting and their knee caves in. It's called knee valgus. And so another exercise that I have to do after we do like the first few steps, we would wrap a band around right above the kneecap, a light band. So that muscle is being forced, or that knee, is being forced to stay in alignment, like with that ankle while you're doing a lunge, right? So I don't know if that makes sense, but like there's just so many exercises that we can utilize. So we just have to make sure that we're, again, being strategic with like what we're doing, right? So like if I have obstructive breathing or sleep apnea or whatever, if I need help from a myofunctional therapist and you're a myofunctional therapist and I'm like, oh, well, I just went on YouTube and, I found some myofunctional therapy exercises, you're going to flip your shit, right? You're going to be like, Brianne, what are you doing? Like, you can't just do that. And it's the same thing with the way that I operate with my clients. Like, you can't just go figuring it out on your own. It doesn't work like that. So again, I'm not a myofunctional therapist, but there's many similarities. And I guess my point being is that corrective exercise is how you're going to get rid of your pain. You're going to improve your mobility. You're going to prevent injury. You're going to build a balanced body so you can have longevity in your career, right? This is what you need to focus on in 2024. And it's basically like, I always tell people, it's basically like a combination of physical therapy blended with strength training, right? That's like how I describe it, because it's exactly that, right? You're fixing your you're helping your joints gain mobility, right? Because a lot of times the mobility is not there, right? And that's what leads to injury, moreover. But basically, if you're just working out, whether it's a few months, or I've had people tell me they've been doing programs for years and they still have pain, like this is a huge problem. This is like major red flags. There's a reason. Your body is working amongst these compensations, right? And we need to retrain its movement patterns so that it's working optimally together, right? So if you have questions, of course, my DMs are always open. I answer them personally, but I am a total open book, right? So ask me anything. I'm happy to give you probably more knowledge than you would like. Hopefully not. But I also have a Balanced Hygienist Toolkit if you are working out regularly and having pain. So go ahead and download your free copy. I will link that in the show notes. It's 4-step, and I would love to hear after you do these 4 steps for about a month how you're doing and how it's treating you. So I hope that was informative for you. If you would like, share this with a fellow hygienist who you think might need to hear from me. And other than that, thanks so much for what you do, and have a great weekend. Thank you so much for listening in today. I hope you got a takeaway from this episode. And if you did, would you be so kind to share it with another dental pro you think would benefit from it? I know you love learning, and chances are that they do too. Also, I would love to connect with you on Instagram, so go ahead and head over to the Lift for Longevity podcast page or follow me at Built by Brianne. If you shoot me a message saying hello, I will personally respond because I love chatting with dental pros. Before you go, though, I want to let you know that I appreciate you and what you do, and I hope to chat soon. Until next time, stay strong.